A very good evening and a warm welcome to all the crypto enthusiasts. I would like to welcome you all to the land of cryptoverse. I'm Rekha Khan, your host for the webinar. And we have with us today Mr. Gaurav, who is an expert in the blockchain space, joining for the webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about why is it a great time to invest on blockchain. Gaurav is going to take us through what is blockchain, how it works, what are the evolutions due to blockchain, and how it helps us. Now that you have joined, you would notice that you all are in mute. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please write them on the chat section. At the end of the webinar, we would be holding a Q&A session where all the queries of the participants would be answered by Gaurav. From the creator of Odin, MCX and IEX, here is yet another credible and exchange-neutral platform a user can rely on while walking towards the path of crypto and blockchain understanding. Starting from education to knowledge to all the latest news, all covered under one super app, CryptoWire. From a novice to a professional trader, every market participant can have a slice of information readily available on the touch of their fingers. Let me first walk you through the world's first crypto university, crypto TV, and crypto wire services and what we have to offer. We all know that crypto and blockchain ecosystem is emerging at an immense speed. And to keep a track of all the events, prices, and news looks to be difficult. So what if we have a buddy who works with us, thinks like us, and responds to what we expect? Yes, you heard me right. Our own global crypto super app, CryptoWire. Let me take you through the app briefly. Here is the global crypto super app, CryptoWire. Let's start with the homepage of the app, which covers all the three pillars: Crypto University, Crypto TV, and Crypto Wire services. Under the Crypto Wire services, we have rolled out India's first global index of cryptos, IC50, yet another feather in Crypto Wire's hat. It tracks the performance of the top 15 cryptocurrencies globally based on market capitalization. Crypto enthusiasts and crypto traders can take informed decisions based on IC15. In WireWatch, in this section, we can monitor the best exchange to buy and the best exchange to sell a particular cryptocurrency. In the center of the screen, we can also monitor the arbitrage opportunity available between the two exchanges for the same cryptocurrency. There are close to 350 plus cryptocurrencies listed on our platform, along with 70 plus crypto exchanges worldwide. Coming to Crypto TV, it's an exclusive 24/7 mobile IPTV covering everything on crypto and blockchain ecosystem. It is currently available in 4 different languages: English, Hindi, Gujarati, and Marathi. Coming to Crypto University, being the world's first digital university to offer courses on crypto and blockchain, you can find the best courses offered by MIT and University of Michigan in just a single click of the app. With this, I would like to introduce the speaker for today, Mr. Gaurav. Gaurav comes with a great experience and an exposure in the blockchain industry. Gaurav has passed out his MBA from IIM Lucknow. He has also done his computer engineering from GEC Aurangabad. He is a member of the African Blockchain Alliance, and he is an associate director with Frontiers in Blockchain Journal, Switzerland. He comes with great recognition of experience in blockchain industry. To name a few, he has conducted state's first ever pilot in using blockchain for land records, e-governance, welfare program, and health records. He was invited by the UK Parliament, USA Coding and Academy, and Swiss government to present his work in the blockchain space. Dalai Lama inaugurated blockchain platform development by Gaurav and his team. Currently, he is a CEO and co-founder of Emertech Innovations, working with India's largest farmer collection to give complete trust and transparency over the entire agriculture value chain, from field to the plate. from retailers to exporters. His most recent achievement was Indian Express Youth Icon, wow, which he received from Mr. Dharmender Pradhan, Education and Skill Development Minister, on the 27th March 2020. He was also invited by the Honorable Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister and Government of India, to discuss the blockchain, which was post-budget discussion session. He has written close to 52 articles explaining blockchain in Marathi in 2020 for Indian Express. The list is never ending for his achievements. He is also launching a book on blockchain in Marathi this week. Join me in welcoming Mr. Gaurav for today's webinar. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. Thank you so much for inviting, and also thank you to the participants for thinking that this would be of use to you, and I will try to do justice to that. So I think I can begin.
Yes, sir.
When we are talking about investing in blockchain, investing in crypto, investing in tokens, investing in NFTs, my particular focus, or you could say experience, would be with even places where blockchain is used without tokenization, more or less like a ERP system, like Corda does, R3 Corda does, interbank financial settlements, or let's say providing traceability for farmers. But I'll also try to talk as much about regarding how to identify good use cases and about utility tokens.
Sure.
We have also done NFTs. We have done NFTs for the first Marathi movie to do an NFT. We did that for the movie Sher Shivraj. But I'll just try to keep my focus a bit pinpointed so that there could be some takeaway when this happens. I'm just sharing my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think this has already been covered, and not much of a just kind of. This is a journey of a startup for the past 5 months. We primarily work in agriculture, and we are not a blockchain company which does agriculture. We are an agri-tech company which also uses blockchain. And somewhere you could say between those two transition points, our identity lies. I'm coming out with this book in the it's in Marathi. It will soon be translated in English and other languages. Here we talk about the technical aspects, right from hashing till the different use cases, beginning from the 14th century onwards with single entry accounting, double entry accounting, triple entry accounting. What was the cypherpunk movement, the ideology of Satoshi Nakamoto, and then so on. Just a appreciation letter from the government of India, primarily saying that I also presented my work in UK Parliament. Some of those clips. I've conducted blockchain workshops all over as well. I've also taught blockchain in US, and I've conducted a report for the Swiss government. This is also one of those projects that we do. So we have done complete integration of the entire agriculture value chain. Just a second. Yeah. So because we have done integration right from the farmer till the end of point of sale system, we are able to print these QR codes. Once you scan these QR codes, you are able to see the complete information regarding the identity of the farmer. And if you're buying something for 50 rupees, you can see how much of those 50 rupees is going to the farmer and what is happening with the rest of it. So the purpose of blockchain over here is very limited, in which where you're trying to give a claim that whatever information you're seeing, it comes with integration from digital systems. At the same time, if the farmer collective or our client or the developers want to change any data, we will not be able to change that. This data which just it goes onto the blockchain. That is one of the things we do. Then we currently move to Mumbai to focus on where blockchain can be used for government, where blockchain can be used for different utility tokens, if that could be done. So first and foremost, it's just a very simple thing. Like how do you actually find out whether blockchain should be used or not? In most of the cases, in fact, as we are discovering and slowly realizing, your traditional databases is much more better because blockchain is a very specific kind of a problem solver if you are thinking about putting it on an enterprise level. I'm not talking about tokenization as a whole. This is more about whether your company should adopt blockchain. So when do you do it? If there is a lack of trust, that's the first thing. If there is no lack of trust, if everything is controlled by one person itself, then accountability is very automatic. Why would you need blockchain over there? The last point is can you solve the oracle problem? The oracle problem is when data goes into a blockchain from the real world into the physical world, that bridge is called an oracle. If that bridge itself is compromised, then garbage in, garbage out. Over there, blockchain can only act as a deterrent for not doing bad data entry. So the most important point is to figure out when a company is claiming to work in blockchain is whether the blockchain use cases, maybe not in the short term, but maybe in the long term, is it going to add any value? Is it going to solve any problem? And just kind of now we'll just briefly talk about a token. It's an image that I've used, drawn for my book. Many people don't understand exactly what a token is. Tokenization is something which we as humans have been doing since forever. Uh, for example, time is a very continuous entity, but in order to talk meaningfully about it, we have broken it down into seconds, hours, days, years, and all. That is also tokenization. So when value, which is also continuous in nature, is made limited and broken down into identifiable tokens, that's what you get. That's when you get a actual security token or a utility token. So how does the value actually increase? Let's say the total amount of value in this world is covered by a chessboard. Now that chessboard, we are converting it into, let's say, 64 pieces. Out of that chessboard, imagine that we are creating a balloon out of it. So the entire surface area of the balloon, and let's say that is the entire value for a particular domain, or in the case of Bitcoin, that is the entire value which will be transacted throughout the world. All of these are just tokens, and the tokens are covering the entire surface area, where the surface area represents the value which is under transaction of Bitcoin. Now, the number of squares will always remain the same. Like there will never be more than 2.1 crore Bitcoins after all of them are minted. But let's say if more and more people are using Bitcoin properly as cash, and not just because if everyone uses it as investment, then it kind of loses its purpose. Because have you ever asked anyone कि आज Bitcoin का rate क्या है? Just 1 second, I have to take this. Yes, so I was saying that the entire value is still represented within the same limited domain. Now, as Bitcoin becomes more and more in transaction, because we never ask each other ki, what is the value of the 10 rupees in your pocket, but we ask each other what is the value of Bitcoin today, because money is used as an exchange rate. The most that we can ask is what is the exchange rate of rupees compared to dollar and yen. But a question which we asked in Bitcoin is what is the rate of Bitcoin? It means that something which was supposed to be used as cash is now being used for investment, which is also good. There is no problem in it. The problem is there has to be an adoption of it. Let's say there is an adoption of it, or at least a perception of an adoption. Then the balloon will increase, either with utility or with sentimentality. The total number of tokens remain the same, but the area of every token will increase, and that is how tokens gain value. If we think of tokenization, then tokenization can actually bring a lot of value to different domains. In agriculture, for example, tokenization can have value because if tokens are all transparent, then using those tokens, the first and second point are related. Uh, Maybe I can pick up supply chain financing. If I have uh, sent my grapes from India to Dubai, and I have invoices for that, then against those invoices, I should be able to raise finance again. Crop receipts is something the World Bank is doing on blockchain in Africa, where I can actually sell my produce before it is actually grown. And I put all of my promises on blockchain, and then I use those promises to raise advance capital to actually grow it. This is the project that the World Bank is doing with the startup. Similarly, when it comes to the insurance data, there's a beautiful company called Hara, and they have a Hara token. Please Google about it later. So Hara token is where your information regarding the validity of a farmer's credit claims will become more meaningful and usable. And they are doing beautifully. In fact, the CTO of Amazon, William Fogel, I think, he went to Indonesia and he produced a 16-minute documentary of how a Hara token is actually generating value. So you can be rest assured that the Hara token is always going to generate value because there is a use case associated with it. And it is not the case that you sell this token to two people will sell it to four people. It's not pyramid marketing. There is actually purpose, utility increases, and that's how investments are raised. Similarly, with it comes to recycle and tracking, there's a beautiful use case of something called a plastic coin, where the recycled material is tokenized on a digital dashboard, and you can actually do transactions through it. So please search about plastic coins also. Currently, the new big investment, you could say, focus is in Web3. Web3 is where, but currently I think we are in Web 2.2, Web 2.3, Web 2.4. This complete Web3 is yet to arrive, but that is how it will happen. It will not be a jump, it will be slow walk towards that. Web3 companies which are focusing primarily, let's say, on having an entertainment token, which is what Chingari did so beautifully. Because if you can use a token to completely reverse the revenue model and make it fair, that would be really beautiful. In fact, every one of you should definitely read an article, the interview of the founder of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, which appeared in Time magazine just a couple of months ago, in which Vitalik Buterin is talking about how really tokens should be used, blockchain should be used, Ethereum should be used, and how it should not be used. He was currently a bit sad with the current state of affairs. But if we have more awareness regarding the right use cases, then we can channelize our energy over there rather than just the hype part. So in fact, when Ethereum was built, Vitalik Buterin had given a very beautiful line. He said that every technology that has come into the world has tried to replace the lowermost worker. But blockchain is such a technology which is there to make the CEO's job redundant. He primarily meant the companies like aggregator economies, Facebook, Ola, Oyo, Uber, all of these aggregator economies can be converted into creator economies. And a beautiful example of that is the Chingari application itself. NFTs are kind of going into a crash, you could say. But NFTs always had a kind of a sentimental notion attached to it. When it comes to NFTs for representing real world tokens, real world assets, like supply chain assets or land tokens or real estate tokens, that's a different use case altogether. Currently, we hear of NFTs more in terms of how actors are doing it. So they have a sentimental value. Like KGF launched 10,000 tokens on 14th April on the first day of launch, and they were also sold and so on. So NFTs is a bit tricky. I'll just suggest two books for you. The first is this one. This is Token Economy by Sharmin Hoshangir. In fact, she is supposed to be one of the founders of the entire concept of how tokens can change things. It is it's completely very detailed, and you could say everything that you need to know about where to invest and what are good use cases can be found here. If you want to focus on NFTs, I will suggest this book, the NFT Handbook. It particularly talks about the different NFT use cases. If you're how to create, sell, and buy non-fungible tokens, and how to actually bring out some value out of it. So these are the two books that I will recommend. Uh, Regarding the Indian government part, Niti Aayog has come up with the India blockchain strategy. Government of Tamil Nadu has come up with a blockchain policy. These are official documents. Go through them because many companies will be building their ideas based on these documents. So whatever government says regarding the crypto tokens, just like yesterday, RBI said that cryptocurrency is a big threat for us. That's okay. Of course, it's a threat for any established national currency, but the tokens themselves can be have at other purposes, and it's an open game regarding how cryptocurrencies will fare out. Whether because that's a very murky field if you're talking about pure cash tokens. So that's another thing. Just briefly talk about other use cases. Chingari white paper you should definitely read because there you understand how something of an idea like a TikTok can be completely reversed and everyone can have a win-win situation built out of it. Maersk has deployed blockchain and they have built a blockchain platform called TradeLens. So you can just read about how TradeLens is actually changing the shipping line industry. Supply chains are supposed to be transformed with the combination of IoT, AI, and blockchain, primarily resulting into Industry 4.0. When you talk about Industry 4.0, just look at the foundation layer. That foundation layer is the blockchain part. So that is the hopeful direction in which we should be going. And there are startups doing that. There are utility tokens for that. Currently figuring out which use case makes sense rather than just seeing which value is going up and down. Okay, will actually be beneficial for the industry also because the right people will get rewarded for their efforts. I think with that we can open up for a Q&A.
So there are a few questions that have come to us right now. One of the question is, what is blockchain wallet and how does it work?
In the words of Andreas Antonopoulos, who is the second most famous person after Satoshi Nakamoto, a blockchain wallet is not really uh, like your Paytm wallet. It's not a bank account. It's a bank in itself. Because if you connect it with the DeFi and many other blockchain wallet is where you actually hold your digital assets. That's it. But the number of things you can do with it, it's not like you're using it as a bank account. You can use your blockchain wallet as a bank itself. So Andrea says that many terminologies within the blockchain world are actually wrong because wallet is a wrong word. They should just call it a bank. The moment you have a Bitcoin account, that has the potential of being used directly as a bank in terms of lending, trading, borrowing, putting it into smart contracts. So yeah, then I gave it a kind of a different answer other than the technical answer.
Okay. A second question that we have is, what is double spending? Is it possible to double spend in a blockchain system?
Within Bitcoin, it is not possible. Double spending is basically I have only 10 rupees. I give 10 rupees to person A and again I give 10 rupees to person B. I should not be able to do that. So the purpose of a bank is to ensure that I don't spend money which I don't have. It's a very simple concept in that way. But technically, without the presence of a third party, solving the problem of double spending was not possible until in a decentralized way, until Bitcoin came up with the proof of work consensus algorithm, which ensured that maximum can go there. A new problem has arisen regarding NFTs. NFTs, if they are in the real world, and if your NFT token is associated with a real world entity, I can sell the NFT token, but the real world entity can be destroyed or it cannot be sold because the link between an NFT and the real world needs a kind of government regulation or at least a good amount of a legal consensus. So double spending is possible wherever NFTs are linked with physical assets also. It's not possible if NFTs are linked with digital assets, if like I'm putting songs on NFT. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So, what do you think? Do you think that banks are rigorously opposing the use of digital currency and blockchain? What are
Yes,
your views on
uh,
this, and what do you
these
feel?
are two different things. State Bank of India has pumped in around crores of money to build an initiative called Bank Chain, in which 20 banks under State Bank of India are working to create a blockchain platform to have one-time KYC. So if I have done KYC in HDFC 10 years ago, I should be able to open my bank account in 20 places without going to the same documentation process. So as a technology, they love it. But if you talk about especially the cryptocurrency part, of course, they hate it because just read what RBI has told the Supreme Court and the government yesterday. Because their own the power in their own token, which is your rupee, is will go away. But that's it. But as John McAfee said, when cryptocurrencies, if they become large, if and when, then world governments will have to readjust, banks will have to readjust. But that's a larger game, and
Right.
even I remain unsure of that.
Absolutely. We all remain unsure because till some regulations don't come, we are not sure what's going to happen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question that we have is, which companies are involved in blockchain technology in India? And is it really good to invest in these companies? What are your views on this?
Currently, the blockchain companies involved are domain specific. Some are working in agriculture, supply chain finance. A Hyderabad company is trying to replace Uber and Ola by having their own decentralized application. Chingari is a beautiful use case. So the number of companies is very high compared to what it was 3 years ago. They are definitely worth investing, provided we understand what is the use case and what is the vision that they have in the long term.
And which is a unique one, according to you, which has really created a buzz in the industry?
Pingari, I think that's my personal favorite, although I have not worked with it or don't have experience in that domain. But yes, Chingari, I
How is
think
it
it's
unique
a real,
according, matlab, why do you feel that it is absolutely
because they've used many concepts like governance token, in which the developers themselves can fund themselves by asking people to vote which app feature they want. Once users are using their tokens to have enable certain feature, and the developers are coding that feature, developers will be getting paid again in tokens. So it's like they have come up with many brilliant use cases within their white paper. So if they, most of them are not implemented yet, but if it is, then it's a really great vision for an Indian company.
absolutely? So we must actually read their white paper and see what all
Yeah.
they are to get more information on that. Absolutely. What is blockchain safe to invest long term?
Uh, when we say blockchain, there are two parts. You can invest in the stakes of a company which works in blockchain. You can buy utility tokens through an ICO where a company is promising to use blockchain in a certain way, for example, Chingari. Or you can invest in a certain cash token like Bitcoin, for example. All these three are different aspects of
Yeah,
blockchain, when are almost nearly independent also of each other.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I think in the long term, a company or a Chingari type utility makes more sense. Pure cash tokens will always have volatility because they will be dependent on market sentiment, which will be dependent upon government regulations.
Right, sir. Absolutely. What are your views? How will blockchain technology affect investing in future?
Um, Most of the focus will go towards Web3 companies, companies which are doing Metaverse, creating virtual environments like Decentraland, Otherverse, and so on. And a very big chunk of VC money will actually be definitely drawn there. So we can expect that change within the next for the next 3 years at least. It could be even longer.
Okay, that's quite a big thing. The last question that we have is, which companies today are investing heavily on blockchain?
Uh, it's more of the VCs regarding, for example, Musk has invested for hundreds of developers to build trade lanes. Google has recently opened up a branch. They said that we are very late to the party, but we will now
Yeah.
definitely jump in. Many private VCs currently are a part. And for example, just see what Polygon has done. They have valuation of more than $20 billion, and now they themselves are investing in other startups which are using Polygon. Similarly, so currently what happens is a blockchain platform gets a lot of investment, and they in turn invest startups who are using those blockchain platform. So it creates a good ecosystem of scalability, adoption, investment, scalability, adoption, investment, and so on.
Okay. So, what do you suggest for when if someone wants to invest on a startup? So, what is your recommendation on that? What are the things that you should check before you kind of invest?
And the long-term vision matters a lot. In the short term, the value mostly is not possible because it takes a lot of time for things to fall into place. But there should be some kind of utility or value which gets created over the long term, and that can be possible through the websites or the white papers, or just trying to understand the idea in general, whether blockchain makes sense over here or not. All of those things should be definitely researched.
Absolutely, I'm very sure of that. So also, I would want to know your the startup that you have, which you've kind of started. What are its functions and how does it help the farmers, and how is it different?
We currently began by deploying it for India's largest farmer group called Sayadri Farms. So currently 15,000
Okay.
farmers are onboarded on it. Its
Okay.
primary purpose, as we said, we are more of an agri-tech company where we have built different agriculture modules in which farmer registration, inventory management, integration with SAP, all of those things are now done through there. And as we proceed ahead, we want to use it in different value chains also. For example, we are working with Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation.
Okay.
So in those aspects, we are exploring. Yeah.
Great. So if we need more details, we can just log into the website, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll have more details on that. Thank you so much. It was a great session, very informative. I would like to thank Saurav for taking out time and sharing his views on today's topic. I would also like to thank all the wonderful audience who've shown interest in keen learning and making informed decisions before entering the crypto market. I would now request all of you all to kindly download the CryptoWire app if not done already and be a part of the global learning. We would request all of you to please share your valuable feedback on the sessions, which helps us enhance our sessions better. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. We would now be meeting on the 20th of May. Thank you so much, sir. It was nice knowing you and your
Thank you.
company, and a lot of informative session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.